Don't worry, I'm not here to waste your time, it's the Bonnie and Clyde. Last week now, because this video has been a little bit delayed, I got a little bit busy, apologies. The Bonnie and Clyde received a buff being 40% damage increase to its base damage, as well as a 50% damage increase to its unique effect, where the alternate firing mode that you are not in currently gains bonus damage when killing an enemy in the currently equipped firing mode. This is very similar to the Blanc from BL3, but definitely a more refined version of that. This brings the base damage of the Bonnie and Clyde up to around 2.3 thousand, as well as the damage granted from the special effect being now 150%. Now before I start yapping, if you do want to get the Bonnie and Clyde for yourself, you can do so from Directive 0 in the Terminus district, specifically from the Ironwall Resolve Order Bunker. Now let me give some context for those that might not be aware. A Gigabuff is a community term, meaning very obviously just an extremely big buff. Generally, this is a buff that comes in the form of a very big numbers buff. A great example of this from BL3 was either the Lob, the Hellwalker. There was honestly a lot of guns that ended up getting Gigabuffs in that game's lifespan, but generally it's a gun that was underperforming that got an incredibly huge buff and made it overpowered. This isn't exactly the case with the Bonnie and Clyde, because not only was this gun not underperforming before this buff, I think it was already one of the better guns in the game. Here's a little bit of pre-patch footage that I have of it. As you can see, this was still an incredibly effective gun, and more than that, it's incredibly good. It's not just effective, this is shredding through mobs. Pre-patch, I was using the Bonnie and Clyde on my sniper build because this thing was so broken that I didn't even really have to be building around it. This is a high fire rate AR/shotgun that I was very effectively using on my sniper build, just kind of keeping it in the back pocket in case I was in a situation where I needed something a little higher fire rate or something a little more close range. And again, despite barely being built around using the Bonnie and Clyde, it worked incredibly well for that purpose. And now back to post-patch. Do I even need to say anything more? This gun is not only just disgusting in how powerful it is, but it is also kind of just disgustingly fun. This is a very enjoyable effect to play around, especially because it does actively change how you use the gun and how you take on an engagement, where with the AR mode, you can play from further back, it's higher fire rate, but the shotgun mode, of course, you're going to want to get a little bit closer. Along with that, while you're killing and swapping back and forth, it's actually reloading the alt fire mode, so you never have to reload this gun as long as you're playing well with it. This creates a very fun and also very engaging gameplay loop where you're constantly having to swap back and forth between these modes, upkeeping your ammo, upkeeping your damage, and also actively changing your gameplay style as you do so. So honestly, I kind of understand why they buffed it. They probably want to shine an even bigger spotlight on this gun because holy fuck is it a well-designed weapon. It's also just powerful enough to plug and play into literally any build ever. As I said, I was using this on a sniper build and it was still holding up incredibly well. That was pre-buff. Post-buff, this thing is going to be able to shred on literally any build that you slot it into. It also, to my knowledge, can't roll with any licensed parts, so it's a very easy farm as well. Meaning that for a new character, when you're getting into the end game, go just ditch yourself Bonnie and Clyde's, it'll carry you through everything. And yes, I do mean everything, because this thing can boss now, and it can boss incredibly effectively. Many of the bossing methods that I use for this build that you're currently seeing footage of is generally targeted towards bosses that have way larger hitboxes. So, of course, things like the Root I use very heavily. But there are a few smaller hitbox bosses that are also pretty damn tanky and can be a little bit of a struggle to kill. The Bonnie and Clyde is able to make very quick work of them, and it can do that to some bosses without even needing the effect to be active. Like, this has actually been my RJ gun since he's gotten drops. But to show this off properly, let's take it on over to Origo real quick. Show this off against a vault monster. We'll take out one of his arena mobs in the shotgun mode, of course, make sure we get that nice little buff on that AR. Spam it into his crit spot, and you will see him just get utterly fucking melted. Again, this gun is ridiculously good at both mobbing and now bossing after the buff, and while this hasn't been a Gigabuff in the traditional sense, I think giving this kind of buff to a gun that was already somewhat overperforming easily constitutes one. And honestly, just given fun factor, ease of access for this gun, the absolute powerhouse that it is for any situation in this game, personally, I'd honestly be willing to argue that this is one of the best guns in the game currently. And I don't think I really mind that too much. Unlike the Plasma Coil or the Free Radical in BL3, the Bonnie and Clyde is actually fun and has engaging gameplay to it. If our absolute S+ tier guns are gonna be guns that are fun to use like this, and actually engage your fucking brain like this, then you know what? I'm all for it. That's gonna about do it for this one though. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, comment, subscribe, all of that. I'll be live right after this video goes up, right here on YouTube and also over on my Twitch channel, where there will be a link to down in the description below. And just below that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.